Hey, Cousin Jack here with another episode of Woodcarving Weekly. And before we get started today, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed. We are this close to 1,700 subscribers. We've been getting a lot of likes on the video, and the channel is growing. And we really want to thank the woodcarving community for all of the support and encouragement. Well, today we'll have quite a few different carving videos for you. We'll also share some information about a museum that you may have never heard of. And we'll talk a little bit about cooking implements as possible carving projects and how to get the right blue jean color maybe on your next cowboy carving or maybe a hillbilly carving. A reminder, folks, all of the resources I mentioned today will be linked in the description right below this video, and you'll also find the links in the comments section a little bit further down on the page below the video. Let's get started. So up first today, we'll talk about blue jean color. Yeah, you know, when you're carving a cowboy or maybe a hillbilly, you want to get that blue jean color just right. So yeah, we're going to visit the UK, where King Bespoke Creations, run by Chris Hatton. Now, Chris has been a hobby woodworker for more than 20 years, and he's really into carving. He likes it a lot. He decided to test out wood dye and see how it works on 6 different species or varieties of wood. And the one that he's chosen, the color, is blue jean color. And so in this experiment, he does include basswood or linden wood, as it's very often referred to in the UK. And he takes it through a series of steps, putting this wood dye on these blocks of wood. He also includes an experiment where he adds some wood grain filler before applying the dye and after applying the dye on the opposite side of the wood. So it's an interesting experiment, and the blue dye comes out different shades in different ways depending upon the species of wood. It's pretty interesting to see. And as you look at this particular video, just remember, Chris has more than 350 videos on his YouTube channel for you to enjoy. He also has a website where you can go and look at some of his things that he's made. Now, you know, you hear the name Bespoke in the title of his YouTube channel, and that's a word you're hearing more often nowadays. It started out with a meaning of something that was tailor-made, like clothing, when a tailor makes a suit that's specifically for a person, or set to very specific measurements or specifications. Nowadays, you're hearing bespoke used more often to refer to anything that's more or less customized or commissioned by a customer. So if you have customers commissioning your work, you can say it's bespoke. Well, up next, we'll visit with Alec LaCasse. He's taking us on a tour of the Marshall Fredericks Sculpture Museum in Saginaw, Michigan. Now, Fredericks was a pretty renowned sculptor. He also did wood carvings. He was born in 1908 in Illinois. He lived most of his life in Michigan. And back in 1930, he visited Europe, and his Scandinavian heritage influenced his art. When he went to Europe, he went to Denmark and Sweden, and he also discovered a mentor that would influence his art even further through the rest of his life. That mentor was Swedish carver Carl Miles. And Mr. Miles certainly influenced some of the art that you'll see in this museum. So as Alec kind of takes you on this tour of the museum, you can tell he is really enjoying it. He shares his emotions, his feelings about the artwork. It's interesting too, he looks at one of the wooden carvings there and you can see some marks, and he kind of points out the gouge that maybe made those specific marks. So you'll see some awesome carvings, awesome sculptures in this video, and keep an eye out for Annalise. She makes an appearance in the video as well. Well, up next, we'll introduce you to a YouTube channel called The Maker Experience. Now, I haven't been able to uncover much about this channel or the creator behind the content. I can tell that the channel was started in March of 2023, and so far there are 26 videos there altogether. Several of them are tutorials, and in the latest video, which was published yesterday, there's a step-by-step tutorial of how to carve a little sleeping cat figure. Now, this is sort of a beginner-friendly video, but he does say that this one is a little more difficult than some of his other tutorials he's published. The carver is using a Swiss Army knife and a block of wood, he doesn't say what kind, to kind of carve this little sleeping cat. Now, there are some helpful parts of this video that will guide you. So the creator does add commentary and talks you through some of the carving steps. He also shows you his sketches, drawings that he used to kind of guide himself in the carving process. So take a look at the maker experience and see what you think. What's cooking, everybody? Van Kelly, that's who's cooking. Van is carving the handle of an old potato masher. He's going to carve a chef's face onto the handle, and this is a pretty neat video. Van is going to take this handle, and he starts by taking the rounded portion of the handle and getting that V shape that you want when you're carving a face. He also takes advantage of the knob that's at the end of that handle to make a very cool looking chef's hat. Now, this is some mystery type of wood. Van says he's not sure what kind of wood it is. He also mentions that back in the day, Harold Enlow used to do these kinds of carving projects. So Van gives you a demonstration on carving this face. He does a really nice job, as usual. And in particular, you might be interested in how he carves the eyes. He uses a V tool to make the upper eyelids. This is something Harold Enlow would also do, and it's taught in Harold's book. You'll see Van executing that and demonstrating the way he does. Now, every once in a while, you'll see that Van is wrestling with this potato masher because the business end of the masher is kind of large. But when you're a skilled carver like Van, you find a way to get around those kinds of challenges. So take a look at the new video and enjoy. Well, there's a brand new video from Danny over at Danny Harris Art. He's got a video now. He's showing you how to make realistic looking bases. And in this case, it's a base for wildlife carving. See, Danny does a lot of fish carvings. He enters competitions, and he does well with those competitions. In this video, he's teaching you how he goes about carving and painting rocks, or realistic rocks. They're made from wood, and branches, other types of natural-looking habitat that you would find underwater where the fish would be swimming. And Danny does a really nice job of explaining what he's doing, showing you the materials that he uses. He even makes gravel out of putty, and he shows you how he does that too. You'll also see how he goes about connecting his carving to the base. Now, whether you're a person who likes to make naturalistic carvings, bases, what have you, or not, there's something to learn here from Danny and the materials. And by the way, if you do have any questions, Danny says, hey, just leave a comment below his video. He'll be happy to share his knowledge with you. Well, over at the What to Whittle YouTube channel, there's a brand new video. And this one is showing you how to carve, or whittle, a face into a stick. Yeah, this channel tends to focus on whittling in its purest form. And by that, I mean using a pocket knife and whittling a stick. Can't get any more pure than that. He starts the video by demonstrating some of the basic cuts that you would use as a whittler or a wood carver, and then he carries on by carving a face. Now, he says that he's going to use a different style to carve this face than what he normally does, and it's just a way for him to continue learning and kind of stretching his skills. Now, you'll see the process from start to finish and how he goes about it. And the video is nice and clear. It's easy to see what he's doing. And while you're looking at that video, you might want to take a look at some of his others. He has 170 videos on his channel for you to enjoy. Now we'll visit with Levi over at the Northwest Carving channel. Now, Levi started this channel when he was 17 years old. That was several years ago. And now he's got a project that he's sharing with you, a brand new video. And in it, he's carving a piece of cedar. He's using his flex cut carving knife for this project. Now he's decided that he's going to do some practice, and he's practicing to carve a tiki figure. He said he had so much fun with it that he decided to share it. Now you'll see him throughout the video kind of carving this tiki. There's no talking during the video, but there's some light music playing in the background. I think he incorporated some steel drums to kind of go along with the tiki theme. It's a fun video and pretty simple, easy to see what he's doing. And he's got 120 videos or more nowadays on his YouTube channel. So if you haven't been to Northwest Carvings, go check it out. Well, folks, I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm really happy about the channel and the growth. Thanks again for all your support. If you've missed any of our previous episodes, just click right over here. You'll see a whole list of them with lots of great content. See you next week.